Welcome to Harriet Tubman, Love in Action. I am Karol V. Brown, and I'm your host. Call me Auntie Carol if you like. And today we are talking about blessing others. Yes, we're blessing others in our program today. So let's get started. We are first going to have our chapter. It's chapter 10, and our quote for the day is: "The success of every woman should be an inspiration to another. We should raise each other up. Make sure you're courageous, be strong, be extremely kind, and above all, be humble." Serena Williams. Great, great quote from a great woman. And our word for the week is blessings. God's favor and protection. That's what a blessing is. And we are able to wish blessings on other people. And we can bless other people because we all have been fairly blessed in our lives if you think about it and count your blessings and be grateful. When you have clothes that you're no longer wearing that are in good shape, and you really would still like to keep them, but really aren't wearing them, you can bless somebody else with those clothes, and I'm sure they will appreciate them. Think about other things that you have that you can bless other people with. That's part of what we're here for, to be a blessing and to bless others. Our story is all about Harriet Tubman as she was taking others people to freedom. Now, the story is about how many people that Harriet Tubman actually free. Well, Harriet says she doesn't quite remember how many people. You might have learned at some time that she freed about 300 people. Harriet says, I don't remember that many people, but she does know that did free at least 70 people. And some of them were before she freed her mother and father, which were mostly near the end of her time freeing people. People left with Harriet, and then there were people who Harriet guided them on how to leave on their own. So if you count all those people together, it could be pretty close to 300 people. Harriet said her very first trip to free people was to free her niece. And of course, these pictures aren't real pictures. I have been using AI, and AI is doing its best to tell the stories the way I am suggesting it to them. But this stands for Harriet, her niece, and her niece's two children, which were the first time that Harriet Tubman went back after she freed herself to free someone else. And that was the beginning of historic events. One trip Harriet says she will never forget was the scary trip when she went back and helped Tilly. Tilly was a young woman who was in love, but the man she was in love with had already gone north, and Tilly was going to be married off to someone else by her owner. Well, the plan was that Harriet and Tilly would take a boat from Maryland to the Free State. Now, Harriet nor Tilly could read. To get on this boat without a white man there with them or a white woman who was their owner, that was not an easy thing to achieve. They had someone write up a letter saying that they had permission to take the trip, and they had purchased tickets. But the person who was loading the boat didn't trust their ticket or the papers that they had with them. So Tilly and Harriet had to wait until everyone else had gotten on the ferry before finally, after sitting there wondering what was going to happen and all the time praying, they were given their tickets and paper, and off the two ladies went, taking Chile to freedom. Now, some people kept records. When Harriet got her people traveling with her to Philadelphia, she would take people to William Steele's office. And there he would write down their names, where they came from, and help them find work and possibly other people from their same area that they were their friends or families so they could be reunited. So Harriet Tubman's journeys were different ways to take people on a route to a better life. And these are the things that we want to learn from these stories. One, share your blessings and be dedicated to helping others. Love, compassion, community, and responsibility are valuable tools for taking action. Number three, Harriet went back to bring others up to better life. That one person made a difference for the lives of so many others. There were about 3,000 known conductors on the Underground Railroad. And see, these people were leaving the people they love. So some of those conductors were brave enough to go back. They were ex-slaves themselves, but they couldn't enjoy freedom, knowing that they left behind others who were suffering. So Harriet was one of these brave ex-slaves that knew what slavery was all about, and yet she risked her life to go back for others. Number six is seek the help for others to achieve what you have and more. You need help, and the Underground Railroad were people helping other peoples get to their freedom. Seven, remember, we are all blessed to be blessings for other people. Keep that in mind. Our activities for this particular class are to look at Serena Jamaica Williams' life. She was born September 26, 1981. And you know, she was the American former professional base. And we all know Serena is the champion of champions, many times over as a professional tennis player. Now that she's retired, we need to know what else she's doing and has been doing. So look up what Serena Williams Foundation does for others. I can tell you something she does. Of course, she's teaching young people to play tennis, but she has a fund that also is helping build schools. So learn more about what she's doing. And I want you to think about who are the people, family members, teachers, friends you can list that have blessed you by helping you live a good life. And I'm sure you do live a good life and have ways that you can bless others. What does it take for one person to help many other people? Does it take money? Well, Harriet didn't have any money, but she was able to raise the money she needed to do the things that she was able to do to help many other people. You can start with just having your own faith and belief that you are able to do something and seek to do it. So that's what I want you to think about as you're doing your journaling today. What are your passions? Your concerns about your personal world? How can you be of service in a way that can help yourself and other people? Just know this, when you help other people, you are helping yourself. Because when you give out love, it just comes back and comes back. The more you give, the more you're helpful to other people. Look at this little girl polishing an older woman's fingers. Could have gone to a nursing home or maybe right in her own neighborhood to help someone else to make them feel good. Or helping an elderly person in a wheelchair or move around in your own area, your own home, or the community. These are ways that you can help that you don't have to have any money. You may need some help. What kind of support would you need to take actions that you like to do? And who can you ask to assist you? Of course, start with your parents, and they may guide you to someone else. Why don't you make a plan, a detailed plan of what you plan on doing and how you do that? Write it down. What is it you want to do? When would you be able to do it? How are you going to do it? Who are you going to have to help you? Why are you even doing something like this? And where will it take place? When you put the time into making a plan, I'm sure your plan is going to come into fruition. That means it will come to happen and be true. That's our program for the Harriet Tubman, but we do have two beautiful guests today. Tierra B. Gordon will be here to talk about her Leadership Academy, and we always love to get our lesson in positive thinking from Tierra. We also have Sabrina Jackson Gandhi, who teaches manifesting powerfully in life, love, and business. Sabrina is a very special person, and she has so many different ways to share what she does for the community.